Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special weekend edition of Midnight's Edge After Dark in the daytime. How you like that? So anyway, I am, of course, your narrator supreme, Mr. Rob Robot Shlomo, coming to you from Shabby Road Studios in the heart of the Elm City, home of the, I don't know what we're the home of anymore. Well, anyway. With me as always is Mr. Tom Connors.
Good afternoon and good evening to those who are night, and it's until 2 p.m. out where you're at, right, Gary?
Yes.
Oh, well, Barry's in the lead here. We got a guest with us, along with Random, of course, as usual. Mecha Random here, 42.
I'm always here.
The responsible.
Yeah, we might have to change the locks pretty soon. Hey, how you doing, Random?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I just came off of my stream, and I wanted to definitely send everybody over here. So hopefully everybody came with me.
Looks like we got a few people.
Yeah, and as Tom said, we have a special guest with us. Is from the Nerdrotic channel, Mr. Gary. How you doing?
Doing well, Rob. Thank you very much for having me on this afternoon. This is an honor. This is an honor being on a channel I have watched and listened to for a long time. And got a couple hours sleep after last night's mega stream. That was crazy. And yeah, just happy to be here. Thanks.
It was like 5 hours.
Almost 5 hours.
I caught like the last 2.5.
Yes. And it's gone
marathon
now.
Sessions. better night than I had, buying drinks for girls who won't give me their phone number, spending money I don't have. So that's to me that's called Friday.
Hey, I sent you a little bit. At least you can eat for a day or two.
I'm getting the onion rings. So anyway, thanks for joining us. So Tom, what do we got on tap today?
Well, first I wanted to start off. I wonder if some of our audience might not be familiar with Gary, so I just want him to intro himself just real quick, tell us what he does, and tell you guys to check out Nerdrotic if you haven't already. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, Gary.
Sure. Hey, I'm Gary. I'm in San Francisco. I run a little channel called the Nerdrotic channel with my friend Dennis Batakos, who could not make it today, which is kind of a bummer. We cover TV viscerally. We do reviews 15 to 20 minutes after the show airs and because I always thought you get the purest thoughts, the first thoughts, and it's completely unedited. We've been doing stuff live forever, just out of necessity. And because we don't have time to edit, it's a lot of fun. We've been growing over the last year, kind of a little slowly, but it's the best hobby I could possibly think of. And honestly, we ripped a lot of stuff off from you guys. So thanks. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. And yeah, that's what we're about. So check us out if you want, if you like. We do everything wrong. We show our faces. Right. Our videos are too long, you know.
All right. So, yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Nerdrotic yet, check them out. And, of course, if you haven't checked out Random yet, which I'm sure you have, because I do every day, giggity. No, just kicking you out. Me too, Tom.
You guys watch me.
Yeah. No, yeah, so definitely subscribe to Random as well. And
I told you not to look through that window, Tom.
I can't help it.
He's only watching her while she's sleeping. So.
Yeah, that's it. It's only while she's
Nothing
sleeping.
creepy.
Nothing creepy.
Didn't mean to wake you.
She gets too close with that Harvey doll, though, I tell you what.
Okay.
Covers up all the good bits. Yeah. All right. Well, we do have some Star Wars news to talk about.
Star Wars. Star Wars. Okay.
So why don't you tell us what's going on with that, Rob?
Okay. There was okay, take the source with a grain of salt. There was a story that was run on a website called express.co.uk. I know it's a clickbait site, but they did publish the same pictures that a lot of people already have. So just take it with a grain of salt. I'm pulling up the site as we speak. So I'm getting the order stretch. So here we go. Okay, we
Which
will actually. Can we share that with everybody in the chat? Let me see. Okay, so everybody can play along at home. The home version. Oh no, that's not the good one. Shit. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I wanted to send that article through the chat, but
I think Gary already did.
It gave me the Facebook.
Oh,
link.
The chat.
So anyway,
yeah. Are you a wrench carrier?
Yeah, I'm a wrench.
You should have
carrier.
been able to.
I'm a wrench carrier, baby. Oh yeah, you know it.
You're a wrench wench like me.
Oh, go to this freaking thing. Go to hell with your pop unders and video things here.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, I hate these sites. So anyway, there's a bunch of pictures from the set of episode 9. It looks like they're filming in Ireland or somewhere. Lots of rolling green hills, lots of grass.
Hairy horses.
And I keep thinking Graham Chapman's going to come strolling through with the guy collecting coconuts behind him, the way it looks like. So anyway, but they have
actually watched that.
Well, ridden here on the horse, you're using coconuts. You're using coconut, you're banging them together. So anyway, so let's take a dive into this. So it says here that the new pictures show Oscar Isaacs and John Boyega, along with Chewbacca actor Jonas Suotamo, and new episode 9 star Naomi Aki, filming scenes on the Windsep desolate landscape. At the time, the new leaks claim the entire first act arc of the movie seems to tie in closely what is shown in the picture. Fears that J.J. Abrams will repeat his Force Awakens pattern of almost too closely echoing A New Hope will be dispelled by the reported plot details of Rebel alliances in the Secret Outer Rim. But is this a storyline fans want to see? Basically, it has them saying that Carrie Fisher, the first scene is with Carrie Fisher telling everybody, all right, go out and go on a recruitment drive, really. And they send Poe and John Boyega and Finn off to one place.
You mean like the mall?
Yeah. Let's go to the mall today. So anyway, the new leak claims Leia is sending out as many people to different star systems to recruit people and rebuild the Resistance. This is said to be used footage of her from The Last Jedi. There were scenes shot by Roundhead Ryan Johnson showing Leia talking about her allies in the Outer Rim. This is more in line with latest pictures. The leak adds, Act 1 will focus on Leia's plans. Poe and Finn go to the Outer Rim. And it said the First Order headquarters are in the unknown regions and that they are trying to rule that part of the galaxy as well. Interesting concept is that the First Order now seems to be established the same way the Empire once was, but with even less opposition. Okay, all right, you know what? First of all, okay.
Oops.
You know, here's the part I don't understand. Here's the part I don't understand, and this goes for this entire new trilogy. They blow up the Hosnian system, right? Nobody said, "Hey, they blew up the Hosnian system." Oh, no way, man! No, the Empire's not gonna do that again. Yeah, fuck those guys. Yeah, like, you know, nobody. They just everybody rolls over and dies, and just rolls
that would be
over
like if the military just like blew up Detroit.
that's
and nobody said shit.
That's like after Pearl Harbor. All right. We don't want any trouble. Okay, no problem. Like,
yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. Wait. What is news? The various reports seem to stress that this time the rebels do not have such an obvious and gurning villainous figure to rally against. Much of the galaxy, some members of the Resistance included, see him, Kylo Ren, as a rather benevolent and positive figure. Well, a lot of tyrants a lot of despots are often seen as benevolent because they bring order. I mean,
sounds like the cabs there, Rob.
Yeah, that's my Uber.
All I heard was honk honk.
But there are people there are people to this day that say about Mussolini, well, at least the trains ran on time. So, yeah, and they actually in Rome you can actually find Mussolini memorabilia. He's actually held in pretty high esteem by some people. So anyway, it seems Leia's plans are two-pronged: rally the remaining rebels, but also find inflammatory evidence of the First Order tyranny to reignite the Resistance. This sounds thoughtful and interesting, but is it truly exciting? Answer: no.
I think Chewie's inflammatory, or is that flammable? I can't remember which.
That looks like a flammable costume.
Very.
A little dangerous. Yeah. Where's Peter Mayhew, by the way? Have they completely just gotten
That
rid
poor
of
guy can't even walk anymore.
No, he can't.
Yeah.
He
It's
could-
certainly
I
more
haven't
punchly.
support.
Anyway, they said it's more interesting than the Trade Federation. Yada yada yada. Nobody cares. Okay. Discuss, everyone. So what do we all think?
Well, first I
think
want to
this
say, whoops, I just got to say, Jess Reed, thank you for the $10 super chat in the beginning of the show. And the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey gave us £5. Hello, Midnight's Edge. Hello, Nerdrotics. Hello, my ragtime gals. Send me a kiss by wire.
Baby, my heart's on fire.
Uh-oh, where's my pills? He says.
Bunny, you lose me. I'll be left alone.
No, baby, telephone.
Telephone
And tell me I'm
alone.
Don't sing it too well.
No shit, yeah, like Doomcock.
Yeah, don't sing it too well or the bots will get you. Shit.
90 Lancaster asks, is that Riri Williams near the horse?
Oh, shit.
What?
We were all thinking it.
Difference.
Here's my answer to your question, Rob. I really don't give a shit. That's my answer. I am so fucking Star Wars'd out. I don't give a shit. That's where I'm at. Seriously. I know I picked this topic for the show, but you lost me midway through that storyline. I was just like, okay. Pointless, boring, bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Ryan Johnson said he was going to show us something we hadn't seen in a Star Wars movie. A movie so bad that obviously no one would give a fuck anymore.
No.
So bad it broke the fandom, right? Like, we're all at each other's throats over Star Trek and Star Wars now. Like there's people who love The Last Jedi and defend it tooth and nail. Like, why? It's not. Who really cares about Episode 9 now that Last Jedi just completely destroyed everything? I certainly don't, and I have a feeling they're going to parade this poor actress around like a token ethnic sort of virtue signal sort of person.
Well, this is the actress that they announced the casting call that she was looking for ethnic female 21 to 30 or whatever. Everything would come to her effortlessly. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, good luck with that. You're gonna have 2 Mary Sues now. For
Gary,
MK Ultra, thanks for.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
MK Ultra, thanks for the $5 super chat. Shouldn't there be an angry trade federation that wants to take on the Empire, First Order, that whole false flag Clone War thingy?
Oh yeah, you would think. I thought they were part of the rebels anyway, but Gary, you were going to say something before.
Oh, this picture represents exactly like what you were saying, what Star Wars is right now. And I saw another person in the chat mention, sorry, I forgot your name, but there's no colors in this. I mean, it's so drab looking. It's in a drab background, and those horse sheep look drab. And Doomcock pointed out last night, and many people have, like, the colors and the palette of this series has gone to crap, and it mirrors like how people feel about it. And beyond like the boycott from Solo, I'm where you're at, Tom. It's apathy. I don't care. I mean, I'm still pissed from the freaking prequels. I know they look a lot better now, but they still sucked. And I didn't like Force Awakens, so I'm so far gone from this. I'm gonna watch it for the channel. But this looks, I hate to be too judgmental, but I guess, we're here for opinions. It looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible.
But you said a good point, though. It's totally devoid of color. Isn't that kind of what, like Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams and all the creative people? Well, we don't want you to see color. We don't want, and we want a diverse cast that de-emphasizes that. Doesn't pay attention, that we don't see color anymore, and is that there you go. I mean, it's reflected through everything they do now. Everything is gray and
it's
and
like
brown.
Solo was, yeah.
Now,
did you guys have an opinion on MK Ultra's question there? Sorry about that. I didn't mean to jump back there, but Gary was going to say something, so yeah.
Oh, I got to reread it there. I got it here.
Shouldn't there be angry Trade Federation that wants to take on the Empire First Order who false flag the whole...
Yes. That's what I'm half expecting, MK Ultra. On a serious note, like even in the plot, the plot is so lame. You think about Battlestar Galactica, and they had some political science background, so they would think about like black markets and repercussions of certain attacks and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff you could play with and actually make it interesting, even though they, like Rob just mentioned, they blew up at 6 systems before, and nobody's even mentioned it. There's 5 people left, so out of your 5-person rebellion, you're going to send the best 3 out to recruit.
Not to mention they blew up Alderaan too on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking play more planets where that came from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
planets every day.
Yeah, Johnny Pappas, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Popcorn Lung Survivors Fund.
I think that's for you, Rob, with all the your allergies.
Yeah. I was cleaning out the garage actually the other day, so it's not getting any better. But anyway, but like I said, it's there seems okay, Gary. Now let me ask you a question. No, sure. You're about the same age as I am.
Yep.
And Tom, we're all kind of the same age. But
I'm closer to
seems
random.
To be. Well, anyway,
we're young babies.
I bet you're closer to random, giggity. But anyway, we digress.
Doomcock would beat me if I fucked with his robot.
Yes, he would.
Probably.
But there seems to be this shift now in storytelling, and you see it in movies, you see it in television. I haven't read any modern sci-fi novels. Okay, I'm trying to read all 12 of the Bond novels, but that's another story. But you see this shift in modern storytelling, and actually we're seeing it too in animation, that all these hip young writers and directors just think they could do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah,
and I see this all the time online whenever there's a discussion. Oh, these are fictional characters. You can do whatever you want with them. It doesn't matter. You can do it. I'm like, no, it has to make sense. You can't just have a guy sprout wings out of his back and that had no other, and fly across the ocean. And it's this whole thing. Nobody has a grip on storytelling. They have to constantly write Deus Ex Machinas to make things work out, and they do things that make no sense. The Last Jedi is a clear example of that, and we're seeing it all. I'm like, what can they possibly do? What are they going to do in this to make this right? They're going to have to pull something out of their ass, and the people that are going to watch this and defend it are going to say the exact same thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a fictional character. It's a fictional universe. You can do whatever you want with it. Only to a point. Only to a point. And one of those points, like you said, you blow up four planets, nobody's going to get off their ass and want to fight back. You have Luke, you have why do you think I came to the most unfindable place in the galaxy? Because you left a map, motherfucker. That's why. How dumb do you think we are?
Pieces of a map to make it more mysterious.
Well, he lived the big chunk in the little roly-poly droid.
Yeah.
It's like oh, you could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want, and they're not even adhering to their own shit when they do things. I'm like, oh yeah, we did this. Doesn't matter. We'll just change it right away. I'm like, no, you did this. You already did this. You have to stick with it. Like Doctor Who and those fixed points in time. Yep. Once you establish something, that's it. That becomes the canon. And like you said, canon, you don't get to decide after the fact. Oh well, maybe this is canon. I'm like, no, what someone laid down before you, that's the canon. And like you said, why do you think I came here? You left the map. That's why you came here. Luke's a changed man. No, he isn't. He's the bravest guy and the guy that defeated the Empire. What did you want to see? What did you want to see me go out there with a laser sword and face down the First Order by myself?
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah. You're Luke freaking Skywalker. Of course we did.
That would have made up for a lot, but you said it yourself. It nothing matters. It's just especially with the last two Star Wars of the main with Boyega and Oscar Isaac. It's just a bunch of scenes thrown together. It's just a big long trailer. There's no cohesiveness. There's no flow. The editing is terrible. The storytelling is awful. And I've said it so much, and I'm glad I'm here, but I was so freaking sick of this, and they don't care, and their response is, yeah, this doesn't matter. You guys are overthinking it. That's why we're fucking fandom, excuse my language. This is what you get when you get into Star Wars. They weren't prepared for any of this. I hear all this garbage of toxic fandom out there, and sure, there's a few crappy people. There is everywhere. This is fandom. It's always been like this. I've had I ran a comic shop for 10 years. These conversations we're having, I had every day for a decade with people. And they're no different now than they were in 2003. People were bitching about the same stuff, it's just, we're able to talk to each other more. And this is what it is.
I tell people, go look it up. There were riots at the Ballet of Rite of Spring in Paris in 1911. Okay, riots in 1911 after a ballet. Okay, fandom's always been like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
pirouette was bullshit.
I don't know about that. No, they don't respect the material, and beyond that, they only care now that we're becoming a large group of upset fans, not this minority or just like vocal minority, as they like to say. I don't think so. I'm seeing hundreds of thousands of clicks and views. I'm seeing subscriber counts shoot up on certain channels to insane levels in a matter of months. There's people who give a crap about this, and I think it's I think it is too late for Star Wars. I think the damage is done. You had your one shot to bring them all together. You couldn't even get a shot of Solo and Leia and Luke, just one shot of them together, and they had to string us along, and it was a bait and switch. That's all it was.
Have you seen that guy Mahler who does the breakdown of The Last Jedi? Yes, he actually says the same exact thing. You had one shot. You had the opportunity, the responsibility to put the band back together, and you squandered it. You will never have this opportunity again. It's gone. You had the chance to bring all three of those characters on screen together at the same time, and you wasted it.
Totally wasted. It's like bringing back say all the Beatles were alive. You brought them back together. But instead you did like what Kiss did with their solo albums. You did individual solo albums with them.
Oh.
Which I kind of like a couple of them. But that being said,
that's actually a bad example because the band did play on I think all the albums, but it was just that the singer on the main singer was No, well, better is.
Would this be a good time to say I saw Paul Stanley on one of those solo gigs in '89? He was good. He was really good. But go ahead, Tom.
Sorry, but no, it's more. I like the Beatles analogy better. It'd be like if you got the one shot to get them back together, and all of a sudden you just do something stupid with them and decide to let everybody do like their own solo shit that they've been doing for the last 30 years, and not instead of Beatles songs or something new. You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. And again, we don't want to sit there and watch them redo Star Wars all over again, but I mean, they practically did with The Force Awakens to a point, but I don't know.
They were trying with Solo too. I think that's what their main goal was, that they were going to recast Han Solo and then they were going to remake Star Wars with new people.
I hope
it's just a theory, but
I think that's a great theory.
I don't even mind new characters per se, mind you. But even if only they were just interesting characters. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The only one
interesting we want to watch. Sorry.
The only one interesting is Poe Dameron, and you treated him you treated him like a piece of shit in the last
Turned
movie.
him into comic relief. And then he's just a misogynistic jerk.
Yeah. And I actually I have this debate with people online all the time about The Last Jedi and about the rebellion, about the Resistance, and it just shows you the level of writing actually Roundhead Rian Johnson deals in. If you have the Resistance, is they dress everybody by rank. commander, captain, admiral. If you have a military command structure, then all the senior officers need to know what the plan is. That way, the chain of command is maintained. In case someone becomes killed or incapacitated, there are still enough people alive who know the plan that will be able to carry it out. Not telling him what the plan is dereliction of duty, is negligent. It's borderline traitorous. It really is. You couldn't have hired. Oh, and I've heard the argument. Well, just because they're a resistance, they're not really military. No, they have a military command structure. They address each other by rank. You see the command structure, and this whole thing about Poe. And again, if you really wanted to create tension between Poe Dameron and Admiral Gender Studies there, or Lady Lilac, or what you want to call him, after she says, "Oh, you flyboys, you think you can solve everything by jumping into an X-wing," and you have her take a side. Listen, you got a problem with me. Talk to me right now about it. Don't dress me down in front of my men. That jeopardizes my men. They lose confidence in me. That puts their lives in danger as well as yours. Says, we have a job to do. You want to tell us the plan? Tell us right here. You want to keep it secret? Okay, fine. But I need enough details to be able to reassure them that when they go out there, I'm going to get them back alive. That's how you create dramatic tension. Okay? But that round-headed buffoon didn't even think of that. He couldn't spend $100,000 on a military advisor. Okay? Nope. No, that's authenticity. Okay? And you could tell, and actually Mark Zicree, Mr. Sci-Fi, he was saying you could tell all these people writing these movies, writing these TV series like Star Trek Discovery and The Last Jedi, you could tell they've never served in the military before. Because there's certain military protocols you adhere to. Granted, okay, I've never served in the military, full disclosure, but I would know enough to ask somebody what would happen. How would this play out here? Okay? And that's what you need. You need to bring in people who know what the hell they're doing. And these aren't it.
Right.
So Kathleen Kennedy, shut the fuck up. You have no idea. The game has passed you by. Right. End of rant.
And Just Reed says, Rob, sorry, but Admiral does not tell a demoted captain the plan, not saying it was right, but had no reason or desire to tell him. That may be true, but when you've only got, 5 pilots left?
Yeah, you only have 80 people in the entire galaxy on this one ship.
At the same time, even if she didn't have to tell him the plan, at the very least, you could say, listen, I can't tell you the plan right now, but you have to trust me. We do have a plan. We're not flying blind here. Okay, right. Trust me on this. We do have a plan.
She did say that, but the way she presented it was real snarky and
it was to portray a strong female character.
Crazy,
more like a bitch.
Crazy Nipple. Thank you for the $5 super chat, by the way.
Is this good, Miss Kennedy? Do you approve? Yeah, do you? Okay, Miss Kennedy's happy. Everybody, we can go back to filming. So.
And I'm sorry, it's Crazy Pineapple. Crazy Pineapple also says, when I saw this picture for the first time, I thought they were remaking Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. Cute Nerd says, this kind of lazy writing has infected novels as well. Okay, I don't want to feel like I'm monopolizing the entire discussion here, so.
Well, let's just say, I'm sure we could talk about something else anyway. I'm about Star Wars out. I really just don't care anymore. I mean...
It makes me angry, if anything. You've taken this thing I've loved for 40 years, and you've completely demolished it.
And it makes no sense. The reason they got Marvel and Star Wars was to bring more boys in the fray. That was the whole point Disney did this.
No, it makes sense. It made about 6 cents in China.
Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. Really going for that market. Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
I'm with you, Tom, and they're going to pay the price when this movie comes out. It is going to. I won't say tank, but it will not do even close to what Last Jedi did. I'll say half, maybe. It'll look a lot like Solo did.
Yeah. Well, I think more people will see it than Solo, but I don't see anybody seeing it more than once because you're going to have your diehard Star Wars fans who will see anything Star Wars on it. But then you will have all of your diehard Star Wars fans that don't see it because they hated Last Jedi. And a lot of people like reviewers and YouTubers who only see it one time for their channels. And I think a lot of it, if we can spread out the word to just wait for a review. Don't pre-order your tickets. Don't give them money ahead of time. You know, I don't think it's going to be a hard time getting a seat. Not like Force Awakens for sure. I mean, I remember we had to pre-order those like months in advance, and they were sold out in like an hour. But no, I don't see this doing as well as Last Jedi or Force Awakens for sure.
I agree.
Do you ever have a friend, though? The critics, though, for The Last Jedi were all the greatest Star Wars movie ever, the greatest since Empire Strikes Back. You ever have that friend of yours who says to you, like, hey, man, you got to listen to this album, or you got to do this, and then you listen to it. So what'd you think? It wasn't that good. You didn't like it? They act surprised. I'm like, well, why didn't you like it? And then they can't believe it, and then they start saying, well, you're just not as open. You're just not as open-minded as I am, or you're not as smart as I am. It's too cerebral for you. I'm like, no, I didn't like it. That's it. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah, Tyler Bioshock R says, don't forget Scotty was in the British Army on D-Day. Scotty, James Doohan, he landed on Sword Beach, I believe. He was shot 6 times. The bullet that almost hit his heart was bounced off the cigarette case in his chest pocket. That saved his life. And he slalomed a Spitfire between electric power line towers. That's how big of a badass James Doohan was.
And it really pissed me off because I wanted a cigarette.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I didn't know that.
Yeah, James Doohan was a badass.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. So anyway, let's continue this discussion. I'm Austin Powers, and I'm spent.
Or not. I was going to say, we can move on to questions from the audience if we'd like. Yes. I would have no issue with that whatsoever.
But I just want to say though, I've noticed one thing though. The people who were defending The Last Jedi. Yes, Captain April. Yes, thank you. James Doohan was actually in the Canadian service. Yes, he was. But the people who were defending The Last Jedi, and the people who were defending Star Trek Discovery, as well, those voices have fallen off quite a bit now. Have you noticed that?
Oh,
we don't see the same amount of zeal to defend them anymore, because it's gotten to the point. Like, I think they're at the point now. Yeah, maybe these. Not that they're trying to see we're right, but you can't defend the indefensible anymore.
No, it went beyond the people who were just defending it because it got weirdly political. Like, I'm on one side of this or that. Those people are gone, and now it's just the people who are arguing over content, which is what I've always been arguing. It's just crap content, and yeah, when we did recaps, our downvotes it was 50-50 on our upvotes and downvotes. Like, the only thing we ever covered that was 50-50 on our downvotes. But the downvotes have gone down. Like, we haven't seen, even the last couple videos I've done, I haven't gotten called an idiot or I have a face I want to punch or anything like that as much, Yeah. Except for my mom.
Yeah, Grand Muff Target says the problem is now shill sites and media will triple down on the advertisement propaganda. It's not even that they're shills. It's that they don't want to be called racist or bigot, and they toe the line. And yeah, okay, there's advertising dollars at stake, but at the same time, they don't want to be the one that says, "Hey, this sucks," because then all their dirtbag peers will jump on that.
Yeah.
So, Rob, what would Sam Kinison have to say about Star Wars?
Sam Kinison says, hey, Kathleen Kennedy, you cow-faced whore! How could you do such a thing? You turned Lando Calrissian into a gay homosexual! Oh!
No,
he
he's a
likes to do
pansexual.
with cookware!
Pants, yeah.
Wow, he's fucking his robot! Oh!
That was for Jess Reed.
All right, Jess.
Why did I turn on my life?
All right. Yes. So,
I had an ex-girlfriend ask me, well, doesn't that hurt your throat? It's like, no, not after a couple of shots of Jameson's.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I miss Sam.
Yeah, Star Trek and $2. Thank you. Thank you for great reviews. Thank you.
All right, let's get out of this Star Wars.
Yeah. Let's get on the Star Wars, Star Trek. These people, Let's talk about porn. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get some questions from the audience there. And while we're waiting, let's find out a little bit. Do you run a comic book shop, Gary, or you own one?
I used to own one.
Okay,
for 10 years. Yeah,
right.
I sold it back in 2013.
Now, do you still work for a comic shop now, or what do you do now?
Nope. I work for Tesla now.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I do
that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
It's interesting. Yeah.
I remember you talking about the shop, so I thought you still worked at one. So
I got it. It's probably like a drinking game on my channel now. I own a comic shop. Yeah, take a drink. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm actually lucky. There is still a couple comic shops in my area, so that's actually pretty good news. So they haven't been closed down due to gentrification just yet.
They're like unicorns.
Tyler Bioshock Car said, "Yeah, let's talk some Janet Jameson, Patricia Kennedy." Oh, you brought up a name that I love, Patricia Kennedy. I remember her. Patricia Kennedy. Patricia Kennedy was one. Okay, do we want to make this adult movie talk now?
Make it quick because we got a question for Nerdrotic already.
Not one of the more notable stars, but she actually gave it her all in every performance. Patricia Kennedy. So that's what I'll say. Go ahead.
All right, Nerdrotic. Hey, Gary. This is from Limic Ajax. Sorry. Hey, Gary. Do you read Star Trek comics? How is the TOS and Transformers Green Lantern crossover?
Haven't read the Transformers Green Lantern crossover yet. Plan to. I read some of the Star Trek comics. It's been about a year. They've actually been okay. I really liked. There was a good run of them. They had a comic came out. This was about 7 or 8 years ago. They've been really good. I've read every iteration when they were decent. Star Trek has been everywhere. It's kind of like the, for lack of a better term, kind of the slut of comics. They've been at DC, Marvel, everywhere. They've just been around. That could be male or female. So, but yeah, the last good one that I read was old. It was the prequel series to the 2009 J.J. Abrams film, and it had Picard and Data in it, and Spock, and it gave you background on God, I'm blanking on his name now. Eric Bana's bad guy, Nero, and his motivations. And if they actually had put that in the movie, it'd have been a million times better. It was a great comic. That's the last Star Trek on.
All right. Was there any more questions out there, guys? Come on, send in the questions.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You got something, Rob?
Let me see. Actually, for God's sake, the chat froze for a second. A question: how does everyone like The Expanse? I haven't seen it actually yet. I want to see it.
Haven't had the time to check it out yet, but of course I hear good things. Random, have you had a chance to check it out?
I still haven't gotten around to it yet. I need to.
Gary?
Well, one of the best shows on television, the best sci-fi show I've seen since Battlestar Galactica. It is slowly becoming my. It's kind of a toss-up between Legion and The Expanse. I'm a huge Expanse fan. I've read after I watched season 1, I read all the books. I love most of the books. I highly recommend it as an alternative to all the garbage that we are seeing right now. Watch The Expanse. It's worth your time. Everybody keeps talking about, we need to find the next Game of Thrones. That's it. The Expanse is the next Game of Thrones. It's not exactly like it, but it's Game of Thrones in space. It's really well thought out. The science in it is amazing. I'm no scientist, but it's really believable. It's not sonar in space. They talk about gravity and inertia and the physics of everything, and it's seriously worth your time if you haven't seen it. Don't watch Star Trek Discovery, watch The Expanse.
Yeah. Cute Nerd, any updates on the Orville? We know about as much as you do at this point. They've been pretty tight-lipped about the Orville.
I was gonna say, I saw something about Jennifer Aniston showing up on the last week here, but we already knew that. So
really,
yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I missed that bit of news.
Yeah, she was showing up for a cameo or an episode or something like that.
Stretch.
Oh, I got to stretch now because Rob's got to look it up. Oh, Lord.
Wilk report. Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. Actually, Jennifer Aniston wants to make one thing. I'm not heartbroken. No, I don't need to know that. Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. A couple things. The Wilk report actually is talking about that. And actually, Penny Johnson Gerald sent out a tweet of her on the set of the Orville, and Halston Sage was still mentioned, tagged in the tweet. So they said she's still part of the Orville family. So
there you go. All right, we got a few questions in here, Rob, I think. Let me see here. Or do you got them up again?
Oh. The Expanse books too. Hold on.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck Mikey Spock? All of it.
All of Mikey Spock.
Cute nerd. What do you hope happens with sci-fi in the future? Do you think we'll see return to actual science fiction? I got to think it's gonna come back around at some point. Because they're just trying to be like everything's just trying to be like everything else. Oh, how do we do dark and gritty? Yeah, and then remember how comics were in the 90s, the mid 90s. Everybody was trying to be like Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're kind of back to we were kind of back to that for a while. But DC actually now is actually sort of DC is actually where Marvel was in the 80s. I kind of think. Would you say that's true, Gary?
Yeah, DC's now they've of late kind of taken some weird directions, but they have been much better than Marvel. They were Marvel was really good about 6 or 7 years ago. They were on a pretty good run. DC is doing much better, much better. It's entertaining. It's still a little fun, and that's what's missing out of a lot of current sci-fi. The Expanse is still a fun show. It deals with some very dark subjects, but it's fun and thrilling, and we completely lost that. And hopefully, I think you're right. I think the pendulum will swing the other way eventually, and we'll stop with this dark and gritty and betrayal, and we're fighting circumstances instead of a bad guy, and or we're always fighting ourselves. It'd be nice that were you there, Tom? We were talking about Forbidden Planet. Just something like you think about Forbidden Planet. That movie came out in the early '60s, and the stuff it deals with. It would blow like if some kid watched it who probably never heard of it, it would blow your mind. You think all old movies are just like basic and old storytelling. The storytelling in Forbidden Planet is better than anything. I'll include anything even in Enterprise. Most TV shows that are out today, it's still better than that. It's great. There is a good sci-fi show that that's brought up in the chat that not a lot of people have heard of. It's called Counterpart. It's on Stars. It's got J.K. Simmons in it. It is the best new show on TV, and it's basically he plays two parts, and it's a spy drama, and it's pretty mundane looking, but in some experiment in the 90s, we punched a hole through reality and we duplicated reality, so you could access it now. So now everybody can go, there's an organization that keeps a lid on it, so there's only a few people who know about that. Everybody has a double now, and there's one passageway through, and it's just this, and it's a spy versus spy thing, and it's the best show. J.K. Simmons gives the best performances of his life as these two characters, as two Howards. Highly recommended.
Do the spies wear pointy hats and have like black and white raincoats?
They should. They should. There is a lot of that, but it's a cool show. It's a really cool show.
Yeah, there was a question. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Actually, that's good. Good recommendation. Counterpart. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There was. Eric Draven. Did any of you hear about Joaquin Phoenix saying he didn't care about what the fans think in regards to his Joker movie? Way to win.
I don't care about his Joker movie.
Yeah. Who cares about the Joker movie anymore? I certainly don't, but
it's a joke.
But there's so many. Why do we need a new Joker movie or a new Joker every 5 years, 3 years, something like that? I'm tired of them.
But what is this about actors? Well, I don't care what I don't care what the fans think. I don't care what the fans say. It used to be, hey, we're working hard. We think you're really gonna like it. Now it's all of a sudden all these hipsters like, well, I don't care. This is I'm an artist. I'm like, really? Really. At some point, you do realize somebody is eventually going to pay money to see this thing.
Yeah, that'd be like a quarterback coming out and saying, I don't give a shit if I win the game. I don't care if we score points.
Yeah, that's the biggest. When my little time working down there, I used to work for Technicolor. The biggest difference now, and this is people my age. I won't just say it's generational, but down in Hollywood, it's not about merit or how much work you put in. If you get a job at Disney, then you're automatically, no matter what your position, you're like, I'm a genius because I work at Disney. They hired me, so I work at Disney, so I'm a genius. You don't have to. You still have to prove yourself once you get the job. And Rian is totally that way. He had one decent movie that did well. And yeah, he thinks, now nobody questions him and he doesn't care what people, he said that exact same thing. He doesn't give a shit. And, it's okay to think that when you're a method actor and you're getting ready for the role. It probably is good to shut yourself down and not care, but don't say it. That's not something you say out loud. And even if somebody asks you the question, you just, you know what you say? You say yes, Ray. Somebody asks you if you're God, yes. You say yes.
And here's the other thing that's stupid about it. If you don't give a shit, then why take the Joker movie? If you're really that cool and too hip for it, then why aren't you just sticking to, independent shit that nobody cares about then? If that's the truth, if you're really in it for the craft and don't care what the quote-unquote fans think, then why do it? Because you're doing it for the check or whatever anyway, so that's kind of hypocritical to me. I don't know. I mean, it's not exactly hypocritical, but I can't think of a better word at the moment, so...
But you see, though, this is why stand-up is so hard to do. Because you have to face your audience on a nightly basis. I mean, if a joke bombs, they're going to let you know about it. If I got up on stage, I don't give a shit what you people think. I don't care if you think I'm funny. They're going to throw stuff at me. They really are. I'll never get another stand-up gig again. But again, I think every director should have to go see their movie with a paying audience. I really do.
Yeah.
At some point.
Well, I think they're not used to getting the feedback instantaneously because of Twitter. I mean, it's something that kind of, like, everybody's always had criticisms. And I know Tom brought this up about the director from Jason Goes to Hell. He had no idea at the time that Jason Goes to Hell was so disliked. But now you can just at Rian Johnson and call him a round-headed buffoon. Don't do that, by the way. But you can just have instant communication with all these actors and directors, and they don't know how to handle it.
Too late.
Yeah. Well.
Quit sending him pictures of Charlie Brown, Rob. You're going to get a restraining order.
Good grief. So any more questions? Let's see. The DJ D show. Yep, stand-up hurts. Beer bottles hurt. Yeah, they certainly do. But hey, let me tell you, a comedian's best friend is a drunk audience. Why do you think there's a 2-drink minimum in most clubs? Tyler Bioshock R, really out of left field, but anybody really here a Joni Mitchell fan? I've become a hardcore fan last year, and I think she's just as good as people like Bob Dylan from a writing standpoint. Yeah, Joni Mitchell's good. I'm not a big fan of hers, but yeah, I can see why people like her.
She had 1 or 2 good songs. Didn't she write the Woodstock song?
I'd say she's a good songwriter as far as I know,
yeah. Yeah. Agreed. She's good.
Yeah. Let's see what else.
Sleepy for me, though.
Yeah.
I know I yawned when I thought about it. Sorry. No, I'm just tired.
Rolo Cat 100. Did you hear the reason why director Danny Boyle quit James Bond 25 project was because of the plans to kill 007 and regenerate him like Doctor Who? Yeah, that was reported as Express, but I've heard other conflicting reports that there was a dispute over who the villain was going to be. Daniel Craig didn't like who the villain was going to be. And so he clashed with Danny Boyle over that. And this whole go ahead.
So I was just going to ask any word on what that villain was.
Well, supposedly it was going to be a Russian, like a modern take on Putin.
Yeah, it was supposed to be based on Putin.
Yeah. But Danny Boyle really didn't want to go down that route. And so he said, okay, best we part ways. But Express UK is trying to grease the tracks for another Idris Elba rumor so they can get more clickbait.
Yeah.
Could Idris Elba could there be a change of heart with Idris Elba playing James Bond? I'm like, no, there isn't.
He gets named for everything. When they recast a Wonder Woman, they'll, bring up Idris Elba.
Yeah,
It's almost a meme at this point, I think.
It is.
Yeah, my buddy Jake, we did a podcast a couple years ago. He said, according to Idris Elba's fans, he's gonna be too busy playing every part from Green. He's gonna be too busy playing Green Lantern, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Jesus to play James Bond. So, Magpie. It's the millionth James Bond movie. Let it die already. No. That's what I have to say to that. Anthony Altieri, James Bond needs a realistic villain, say like male pattern baldness.
Nyla's Shadow just shot me. I mean, it's not James Bond. A picture of we were just back and forth on Willem Dafoe being the Joker, which I always love to see. I wish I could show the picture. Just look it up. It's amazing. He looks so good. Now that's a lot of good Photoshop right there, but God, that he would be so perfect. Sorry, I know that breaks the flow. We weren't talking about Bond, but
that's fine.
Nyla's Shadow, good job.
So who likes Space Above and Beyond? I like Space Above and Beyond. That show was really good.
It was good.
It was very good.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not much more we can say about that. It's been years since I've seen
totally agree. Yeah, it's been a while, but it was a solid show.
So what was it about then? I haven't actually seen it. What was it about?
Bump these fighter pilots in space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It only lasted like one season, right?
Yep.
Not too bad. Captain Robert April. Idris Elba has shut one down. It was probably interfere with getting actual gigs. Yeah, you're probably right. Rest Bond 20 years would do. No. They could always pull something fresh out of the Bond series. That's the thing. Sebastian Simpson, Chris Evans as James Bond. I have no idea. They'll pick someone you've never heard before.
Yep.
Magpie, Star Trek ship captain and ran by Idris Elba, appears in James Bond's Residence, who was in negotiations with Doctor Who. Okay. Patrick Ollinger, being a stand-up comedian seems like a lot of pressure. It is and it isn't. It's 50% guts, really is. Half the battle is just getting up on stage.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing to do. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend comedian. Watched what he went through. Tough. Comedians are tough.
I'll tell you though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's also why they're a little neurotic. But I'm not one to judge in that department. So. But,
I'll tell you though, once you get that first laugh, it's addictive. It really is. You want to go right on to the next one.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a lot like live streaming, though. Only with live streaming, you can turn the camera off, or you don't hear the audience. You just see the chat. It's really similar.
Yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin, Harvey can play James Bond. Q, it's a good day to press the button, TM.
Yeah.
I bet you thought I was going to stop you. Nope.
Anthony Altieri, not for nothing, but I mean, there are other black actors besides Idris Elba. People do know this, right? I mean, D.B. Woodside, for example. They do, but Idris Elba is just the go-to name.
Yeah. I agree with that sentiment. I love Idris Elba, but he would have been a cool Doctor Who.
Yeah.
That time has passed. And
yeah. I tend to think that the door is closing on Idris Elba being a big box office draw. Yep. I really do. And for the people, there was an article like in GQ or whatever it was. Oh, Hollywood hasn't done right by Idris Elba. No, Idris Elba's agent hasn't done right by him.
Yeah. They gave him Dark Tower. That wasn't a small shot. That was a pretty big shot he had there. Well, I mean, he had a crappy script. It's not all his fault, but
and he could have said no.
And I think he said no to Doctor Who. They did ask him. That's what I heard anyway. So. That would have been pretty cool.
Okay. Tyler Baushock. So Putin is the bad guy. No, it's a guy like Putin. Is that like how Elliot Carver was thinly veiled Rupert Murdoch? Hopefully it does better. It's a better film than Tomorrow Never Dies. Well, I don't know if they're going to keep the script by John Hodge. That's the problem.
Yeah. That was kind of boring to have just the Russian, but do something different.
Well, Bond always kind of reflects the times we live in.
Yeah.
Bond's been to the Middle East in The Living Daylights. He was in Afghanistan.
Yep.
If they do that again, oh, it's so unfair. They're stereotyping all Arabs and Middle Easterners as terrorists because we know that's not the point. Because I'm like, shut up, okay? It's a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Harv guy, Elvis said he doesn't want to be known as the first Black Bond. Eric Draven, if Sam had lived, what would have he thought about modern PC culture? Sam would not be happy. That's what I think.
Yeah, there's so many comedians from that time that were like very outspoken against censorship and about all the PMRC crap that was going on at the time. I remember if you go back to like the late 80s, early 90s, everything was about the anti-abortion, suicide bomber crap. And now I think we kind of have a similar sort of shift in culture where people are just as crazy and enough kind of crazy, insane stuff is happening that I really wish we kind of get some rise of really awesome, amazing stand-up comedians out of this. But sadly, comedy's kind of been killed by people being offended by everything. So
yeah, you're so right. This should be a golden age of comedy right now, and it's not because they're afraid to take chances. This is happening with some of the writing. Rob, you were asking about the writing in Hollywood. I think some people are actually writing in fear now. They can't write certain bad guys because they're afraid of offending people, or they're checking themselves before they. Creativity should be allowed to flow 100%, no matter what, with no boundaries. That's why you have editors and notes and stuff, but not to think about actual characters like, oh, I can't write this certain person because that might offend this group, so I'll just make it as bland as possible. We're getting these really bland characters. Blandly competent, I have heard, which, a lot of men are writing females blandly competent because they're afraid to write them with any kind of flaws or anything, and that's why, that's why we get a Star Trek Discovery. We get Mikey Spock.
Or Ray.
She's the bestest ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime something happens to Mikey Spock, it's somebody else's fault. It's Mikey Spock shouldn't have trusted that person, or something like that. Yeah.
She was betrayed by Tyler Vach.
Yes.
Well, she's stupid for falling in love with him. And I was talking about that today, that, there's no reason she should have even fallen in love with him. It's just one or two little glances, like you're a little kid across the cafeteria in junior high. I mean, you talk to him for a second and you're going out and you're holding hands. Like, it's such an immature relationship. It isn't even a very complex human adult, emotional relationship that she goes through.
That's a great point.
There's zero chemistry too.
Oh God, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more. You want to show what the beginnings of a relationship. Show it like Wayne's World. I'm like, so like she kind of just T. Career kind of blows off Mike Myers, and he's just like, she will be mine. Oh yes, she will be mine. I'm like, and it takes a while, but it takes her a while to really start liking Wayne. That's the thing.
Man, you're scaring me.
But in an actual show, if they actually had any sort of character development, it would have taken Tyler Vach a couple of episodes, like a good half a season, to start liking Mikey Spock. It really would have.
Oh, you're learning Cassandra's language. Stop it, man! You're scaring me.
Oh my God! There's more character development in Wayne's World than there is in Star Trek Discovery.
Sadly,
Yep.
There it is. There.
I pulled the Wayne Campbell last night. I met this girl a couple weeks ago, and at the bar I pulled the Wayne Campbell, and she goes, stay right here, I'll be back. And I just look at the guy next to me. She will be mine. Oh yes, she will be mine. So, and coming from me, it's not that charming.
Did she come back?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Probably kind of creepy. But
we were parked around the same corner. And I just like, for posterity, just so you know, I'm not stalking you. We're just parked in the same place. She goes, you're stalking me. You know it.
Just admit it.
Yeah, just admit it. I'm like, okay, I will.
I come with pre-written restraining orders.
Okay. Romantic comedy, Shlomo in Love. There we go. My new rom-com. Coming this fall to Fox. He was a podcaster. She was a bartender. They had nothing in common.
Except he was an alcoholic.
And she liked pouring drinks.
Wackiness ensues.
Shlomo in Love, a kosher romance.
Well, you already have more in common with her than Mikey, Spock, and Vok. What do they even have in common with each other? What can they talk about?
They don't even have compatible body parts because he has two penises.
Or did they cut him off? I think they cut him off because Laurel mentioned something about you can't even please me in your human form or something.
Oh!
Well, I think that's because he's only got one cock, probably. But yeah,
would it have been funny if they started playing like Stone Temple Pilots? Now I'm half.
It wasn't cut off so much as
to be.
Didn't they pretty much put like his essence grafted onto him? Is what it was.
It was so unclear. It's like, okay, is it Tyler's dead body that they reconstructed, or was it Locke that they cut open? And
it took me a long time to figure this out. So they used Tyler's nervous system, all right, and then they grafted. What's his name? Vok. So they crushed down his body and reformed it into what a Vocker into the Tyler's human form. So they're both the same person basically. There's still some Vok and there's still some Tyler, but most of Tyler is dead.
And they both suck.
And they both suck. But that PTSD stuck around after all that, which I guess is after the whole Klingon sex scene, which I never want to see again the rest of my life.
Not even with triple pasties?
Oh, maybe. Okay. Maybe I'm lying a little bit. Maybe I want to see some more.
It used to be aliens on Star Trek, they were kind of intriguing, like the Orion slave girls, or maybe the Andorians, or whatever, and even the Bajorans or the Trills.
Well, even the Klingons were kind of hot. Like the Klingon women, they were very much proudly on display back in the day.
Yeah,
and
but
they
now,
they were primal too. They were they kind of remember Futurama with the Amazons? Like that's kind of like the Klingon women,
Yeah.
But like I said, I remember what was the first episode of Deep Space Nine? Sisko said to his son, Benjamin, was it? I think it was. Says, "Oh yeah, watch out for those Bajoran girls." So, but now it's just like seeing that is enough to turn you off to sex for a long time. I'm like, oh God. Farpoint Station, thank you for the $2 super chat. Are Tyler's dumpster still Klingon style?
I guess it depends on if he's eating gawk or not.
Dicks. Sorry. That was good. Thank you, Farpoint Station.
Sebastian Simmons said yes. Death by snoo. 90 Lancaster, Jake. Is that Jake? Jake, is that you? 90 Lancaster?
Was that Jake?
I don't know. He said Roy sent the thing in the chat. And
Ben was the captain and Jake was the kid.
Oh,
Jake Sisko. Okay. I thought you were my buddy Jake. Yeah. Sorry, it's been a long time since I've seen DS9. So.
Jess Reed mentions the Klingon female talking about Riker. He is not very attractive, but I will have him. I just watched that episode yesterday. That's so funny.
Remember what the was that the one with the exchange program?
Yes.
Riker went over. Yes. Perhaps you would like one of the women to breastfeed you. Ha ha ha. It was good. The Klingons were like space Vikings. They really were. Oh, there goes a ride. Can you hear that? Yeah. The honor is to serve. Yes, Lita married Rom. Yeah, Lita is in Star Trek Online.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Here it comes, Rob.
There it goes.
There's a fire station right up the block from me, Engine 17. So I mean everything. So it's a hassle when I'm trying to record some dialogue for Entree, and all of a sudden I'm like, mother effer. Okay. The honor is to serve. Okay, more questions, guys. Let's go. More questions.
I saw a question up here that was good.
Yeah. Tyler Bioshock I thought Klingons were originally written as space Russians. Yeah, they were. Originally, they're space Russians, but they kind of evolved to sort of like Vikings, Cossacks, space Cossacks, I guess, right?
I call them bikers, though.
Where was Crazy Pineapple's question?
What the hell is
It's above the super far point.
Are we
stations
the
for chat.
longtime fans of Star Trek, Star Wars, walking away from these franchises? In reality, they have left us both behind, or left us behind. Thoughts?
That's a hard one to answer. I think it's not left us behind. They don't give a crap about us anymore. So I guess that's kind of leaving behind, not realizing they thought they being the current makers of Star Wars and Star Trek, thought they could just slap a label on it and everything would be okay. I don't think any of them were expecting the backlash that they've gotten. I think it has caught them completely by surprise, but we're now a couple years into it and they've done nothing but double down and triple down. And I think in that way, yes, they're trying to leave us behind. It does feel like they want a certain portion of the audience to just go away because we're troublesome. There's people who like canon and buy all their stuff. Tom was mentioning what 20 million a year Star Trek is made on licensing, maybe more, maybe that number's small. Yeah, that's me. I still buy tons of Star Trek stuff. I'm still buying figures. I just bought some new Mego stuff, and I'm gonna stop pretty soon because I'm gonna start not caring. And that's the point: is they should be happy. We're still pissed, but you hear it in Tom's voice. You hear it random. We're starting to not care anymore, and just like, go ahead, make your shit. Go ahead, do it. It's like I'm gonna go watch The Expanse or do something else. That's when you're in trouble. So it's in leaving us behind, we will leave them behind, and then there will be nothing. There'll be a Star Wars again someday, but Disney's really screwed on this one, and so is CBS. But I think they have a time to fix Star Trek, where I don't think they have time to fix Star Wars. That really long-winded answer. Sorry.
I think this whole thing about they want a new audience, but I think what they're missing is that, like you said, you're going to go watch The Expanse. I don't have to watch Star Trek Discovery. I can watch Rick and Morty. I can watch, I got tons of other entertainment options available to me. I can watch, you can watch Voltron, Legendary Defender on Netflix. We can watch
shit I have to catch up on as it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there is a lot of other stuff we can watch. I'm like, so yeah. Well, yeah. You'll be back. You'll be back. I'm like, no, we probably won't be.
No, we won't, because we can move on to the next thing. We can rewatch. I'm rewatching Babylon 5. For crying out loud. It's one thing they don't really realize this. It's like they're treating Star Trek fans like how we're portrayed on The Big Bang Theory, that we'll just buy anything with a Star Trek logo or a superhero logo or Star Wars, and we're all the same person, and we will buy absolutely everything. And girls don't like it, so we need to bring in more girls, and all this nonsense they're hearing from Big Bang Theory, and it's not true, And we're gonna get to the point, and a lot of us already are, where we just don't want to buy anything anymore. And we don't want to buy the old stuff even. We can find new stuff that's not going to treat us like crap. And I know Tom brought up a kind of a point with the Solo movie, I think it was, where it's kind of like, I think it was your Solo video, where these franchises are kind of like, it's like they've left us for somebody half their age, and they want all these new fans, and they forget all the shit we've gone through with them. They forget that, we're the one who kind of changed or scrubbed their skid marks while they were going through their pre-phase or Enterprise, and we were the ones who defended them, and we're the ones who got bullied for liking them because nobody else we knew liked these things. But now they're all with somebody half our age, and they don't care about us anymore. There's that old saying, you dance with the one that brought you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're forgetting. I mean, we're the... I hate sounding like this. We're the fan base that made these properties what they are, and they're trying to get all those guys and those guys, the people that are waiting in line for iPhones overnight, and who derive their identity by how many followers they have on Twitter, and people who don't go to people who don't buy the toys, and they just want to get as many likes as they can on their Facebook posts. And the other thing too is, I don't know who said this, they are conflating
social media following with an audience. The two are not the same.
No.
It is much easier to follow something on social media because you don't actually have to show up for it.
Yeah, or do anything. It's something you can sit on the toilet and hit the like button, and that's it. You know, you don't have to do anything. And that, I think a lot of these new fans that they're catering to are the kind of people who will go out and cosplay whatever superhero movie of the week, or buy the pop figure and have no context for any of it. They will cosplay as like Katana without having ever read any comic book that she's in or even know what she's from. And these are the fans that they want because it's going to be an immediate sort of bit of press. The YouTubers, the Twitter people, the Instagram, the Facebook people, they can get their like immediately. They can get the buzz out there. They can get people in the seats temporarily, and then they're on to the next thing. And that's what they want.
It becomes disposable. Yeah, it's just disposable entertainment, and it doesn't matter. It goes back to what Rob said. It just doesn't matter anymore. Nothing has stakes. Yep, we just want to and maybe that's a friend of mine did a little work for Disney, and he said their attitude, what he basically got out of it was Disney's attitude was, let's get what we can right now in our investment. Let's get as much money right now, and if it burns out, it burns out. So be it. You know, we'll still have the stuff in the park. I don't think they foresaw the damage they were doing to it, and they are worried about that now. But yeah, their whole attitude was just like, let's roll out as many movies as possible, get as much money, which they kind of did at first. I mean, they got a lot of money back. Yeah. I don't know if it's, covered their investment, but,
Yeah. I think with the merchandise they probably have now, but yeah.
Cute Nerd actually asks, do you think they just want a dumber audience? I think they want an audience that is just less invested.
They think the audience is dumb. That's half the problem.
Yeah, they think we're dumber than we are. They think so little of us that they think we're going to buy absolutely everything because it has Star Wars on it or Star Trek. And a few of us are. Some of us are. Some of us will just buy everything. They want every version of every DVD and Blu-ray that comes out, every packaging. But most of us don't. Yeah, I know. And there's nothing wrong with packaging. That. There's nothing wrong with that. I love having
Unless there's something different
collection.
On it, I won't buy it. But yeah, no, you're right.
But yeah, and that's not, and there's genuine fans who do just want to own the thing, but they're kind of treating every fan like that's their only investment is I will buy it if it has the logo on the side.
Yeah. I don't think they want an audience that's dumber. I think, like I said, I think they actually believe that, and like you and like
they
Gary
do
said,
believe we're dumb, and not only that, they think that the foreign market is even dumber, so that's why movies have gotten even dumber in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is. No, you're correct. But to that end, the audience they're trying to court, and like Gary said, they're trying to extract as much money as they can within a short period of time. That's pretty much vulture capitalism. We won't go there, but. And like you said, the audience that they're trying to court, and if you take a look at where they're breaking the news of stuff, and I covered this on a video of mine, they break news on like programs like The View, and freaking Ryan's the Kelly Ripa show there, whatever it is. That's who they're going for. Sort of, I don't want to say the stay-at-home moms, but the sort of 35 to 35-year-old woman who's got a kid maybe too young to go to school, hasn't gone back to her job yet.
They want the Facebook moms who are there texting while they watch stuff.
And the foreign markets.
That's weird.
That's why we keep getting movies like, I can't remember who brought it up here, but 90 Lancaster brought up The Mummy and Transformers and all these movies that are just nonstop action and explosions and the dialogue is secondary.
Yeah, and like you said, Random, they don't want people who actually watch something for a story. They want people who look at their phones and then there's a flash and there's a sound cue. Oh, it's time to pay attention now. It's time to look up on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marvel Comics is going through this. They're changing not so quietly. They want to turn into a lifestyle brand. They have cooking shows on their website now. A comic book company that produces comic books wants to be. Yeah, Sana Amanad's behind this. She's like second in charge.
Sake.
Yeah, and yeah, it's insane. They're trying to go for audiences that don't even cross over. I mean, food and comics. Yeah,
Marvel.
That's
welcome
Marvel?
to McDonald's. Would you like us to hem your pants for you?
If anybody out there is listening from Marvel, and you're probably not, but I don't care. I'm going to say this anyway. If you want to be a lifestyle brand, go call a guy named Henry Jankowicz, who is the CEO of Gibson Guitars, who tried to make them a lifestyle brand.
Go be a fucking editor at People Magazine.
Yep.
See how well they did. Okay.
Just don't be a comic book editor if that's what you want to do.
Go into Better Homes and Gardens.
Exactly. Go write for Time or Life or People. Something that's
Condé Nast magazine. I'm sure they got an opening. For God's sake.
Yeah. Like, and comics are centered around it. No, they did a whole She-Hulk comic series around a cooking show, a YouTube cooking show star, and they have guys doing videos like making Thanos cookies or what. I forgot what he was making, but it's really.
I could see that on the Disney Channel, but not from Marvel. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow out there, guys. But no, that's just insane. What the fuck?
Why do they want the Food Network's audience so bad? Like, do they spend that much money? Are they that desperate for every audience they can grab? You know,
because a lot of women watch the Food Network and they believe they have to expand the female audience.
No, you don't. You can make books and women will like them. I mean, I was a tomboy in the 80s. I liked Star Wars and the Dark Crystal and the Lost Boys and all these movies that normally would have male audiences because I was a tomboy, and there's nothing wrong with being a tomboy. There's also nothing wrong if you're a little boy and you want to have an easy bake oven. Nothing wrong with that. Many chefs are men. But for crying out loud, there's nothing wrong. You don't have to force genders and people into your demographic that would never care for it.
Yeah, they're forcing demographics when these things were already built for a specific demographic.
Yeah, changing formats. It's ridiculous. There was a little clip in the new Star Wars Resistance trailer which was awful. That really stood out to me. And there some pilots going out and the other person's talking to them and they say, "You go make your truth." And that's what Disney's trying to do now. They're trying to make truth. They're trying to squeeze fans into an area they're not interested in. Trying to sell stuff to people who won't buy their stuff. That's the most important thing. Is what they're selling to, those people don't care. They might care on Twitter for a second, like Rob talked about, and random. But after that, they're gone. They're gone. They are disposable as hell, and you're making this disposable. You're making everything, pop vinyls right now. And it's killing everything, which is too bad. Because, again, longtime fans like me are just going to walk away. And, yeah.
I mean, you see, but they're even trying to justify it. CBS actually has their idiotic parrot analytics thing, where they're actually painting this company, Parrot Analytics. They got a hell of a scam going. They said, come up. Okay, I don't know, but this is my take on
something's trending. Let's look and see how many people are talking about it. Okay, let's tell CBS that.
Yeah, they don't measure actual people who are watching the show. They measure like if it's trending or not, and how many discussions are taking place around it that are being tagged, and that is their demand expressions, and I'm doing the finger quotes. We have 58 million demand expressions. That's not viewership. That's people just clicking a like on Twitter or on Facebook or on Tumblr or whatever the hell it is.
Right. And half of it's us complaining about it and tagging Star Trek and like I all the goddamn time on Twitter. I'm hashtagging Star Trek Discovery, CBS.
How many demand expressions do you think that argument with Anthony Rapp cost?
Gary, actually, I had Doug Jones like a tweet of mine yesterday.
Oh, really? Doug Jones seems like a cool guy.
Well, he showed a picture of himself. One side of his face, the other side was Saru. It said something about getting nomination or Emmy nomination or whatever for makeup. And I said, "Oh, good, the operation was successful," and he liked it.
What Anthony Rapp argument? I know nothing about.
There was a big back and forth with Anthony Rapp
and Jason Isaacs. It was more with Jason Isaacs.
that we that's what
Rob and I got into it with him.
Yeah,
And I got into it with Anthony Rapp too.
About the whole parrot analytics and shit. Like
well,
nobody's
then
watching.
He got to the point where he's like, "Oh, I'll quit my job tomorrow because I should do what you asked me to," or some pretentious shit like that. And then turns around and goes, "Well, if you're not happy with your meal, do you yell at the chef?" I said, "Yeah, you tell the fucking waiter that your meal sucks, so they can go back and tell the chef." It's like, you dumbass. My God.
And all along the way, we just kept saying, just listen, this isn't personal. Okay, you're doing a job. We realize you're doing a job. And we realize you're working with the material they're giving you. But they are giving you shit material.
Yeah,
like, you got to recognize. You can't say, wait.
Well, yeah, they kind of interjected themselves into the whole thing. It was what it was, kind of, yeah. Like, it was like we were just bitching about STD for whatever reason. I don't even remember what the hell we were bitching about.
And they came in.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Well, they were tagged in the original post is what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had interactions too where like I basically stated I didn't know who was tagged in it, but it showed up in my feed, and I said, yeah, only an idiot would blindly trust Kurtzman before or to just assume that the new Picard series is going to be good or something to that effect. And of course, Anthony Rapp's like, God, you just called us all idiots. And I'm like, absolutely not. I said, I implied that the fans were idiots for just blindly accepting everything that Kurtzman does. And that was kind of the back and forth I had with him.
I back that statement, Random. I mean, not the idiot one, the one that you have to be an idiot to trust Kurtzman at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, his track record has been such garbage. People don't actually like what he does, I don't think. Or if they do, they don't realize that, they don't realize it's bad. They just like it because they're on their phone and they don't know any better.
Too much of a yes man. Because look at the whole thing with the Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I heard was it was Tom Cruise who just kind of came in and took over the production. If that's the case, he just rolled over like a little bitch.
Well, Tom Cruise has his own writers. He brings his own writers in.
But still, it's like you're trying to create this. Sorry, Gary. I was just gonna say you're trying to create this universe, and why would you let somebody just come in and piss all over your project?
Because he's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh yes, sir, Mr. Cruise. If I ever have a chance of working with this guy again, I better do whatever he says.
Not after the fucking Mummy, you're not now.
Blasted heat. Anthony Rapp is still riding high after destroying Kevin Spacey.
What were you going to say, Gary? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just Tom Cruise has his own writers come in, and that's weird because I've heard Tom Cruise has been dying for a franchise outside of Mission Impossible, like wanting the superhero or something like that.
He tried to make the Mummy. It was like his anti-Tom Cruise movie, from what I heard. I have not seen it yet, but that was, I think, Andre's kind of small, short version of it.
Gotcha. I haven't seen it yet either, but yeah, I thought he was dying to be in something. There's the Green Lantern rumors again out there, which I'm not against. But if he has his own, I did not know that he has his own writers. He rolls around with. Not surprised.
Yeah. Tom Cruise and Will Smith both have writers come in and punch up their dialogue.
I'm sure there's more than just them, but
yeah.
Will Smith, I heard about.
They're the most well known. Yeah.
Yep.
Kerry Dalton, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thanks for the great weekend chat. What is everyone's worry level for Captain Marvel? The lack of info promotion is concerning to me. When does Captain Marvel due? It's due March?
Yes. Of 2019.
February or March, I can't remember which.
No trailer Comic-Con, no appearance at Comic-Con.
Well, that's kind of scary, but I know they started a deal, like, what was it? And it was in effect. And I know this has been noticed with like a few other movies, but like it started like at the beginning of last year, or the beginning of the end, the middle, or something. I can't remember when it started, but they weren't allowed to release trailers and shit more than 6 months in advance, except for like 1 or 2 movies a year now, like due to some new regulation. So I know that's why we haven't been seeing trailers till they're closer to release. Huh. But outside of that, there has been some questionable ones. I know, like, Solo was one that they were slow to get their campaign going, and a few other ones. So, I'm not too scared. I just think they're holding off.
My guess is we're going to see something around Thanksgiving. That's my guess. That would be a good time.
With Marvel, nothing is an accident.
Yeah. Thanksgiving during one of the football games, during the Dallas game. That usually has a bigger audience than the Detroit game.
We might get a teaser, and then they'll probably put a full trailer on, like, Mary Poppins or something.
Yeah.
Or Wreck-It Ralph, maybe.
Yeah. 90 Lancaster. Anyone else recall when Captain Marvel was a sexy woman? That I got into a blow up with someone on Twitter about that. I said because remember when Carol Danvers used to be pretty? Remember when she looked like a girl and not Justin Bieber? And they got really pissy about how dare you suggest that your definition of sexiness is the only one. I'm not saying my definition of sexiness is the only one. I'm saying is that they used to embrace her looking like a woman rather than a man. There's a reason why people are calling her Carl Manvers now. Is Marvel is running from anything remotely associated with femininity and celebrating the feminine form, like Professor Geek said.
Yet they want to try and bring in more women.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you thinking? Do women want to look at these ugly, frumpy, or mannish, or it's just like the new She-Ra too. Like, do we really want to look at that?
Yeah, you stole the words out right out of my mouth, random. Frumpy. Yeah, go roll out a frumpy Captain Marvel and see how well that movie does.
McCarthy.
This is right. This is the conundrum Hollywood is in. They're trying to capitulate to certain forces due to the PC crowd, and you still need pretty people, especially superheroes are supposed to be idealistic. I want my superhero to look better than me. It doesn't make me feel bad about myself because, I have confidence. I am somewhat secure, and this is the problem. So they can't make what's sold on Miss Marvel. I read Miss Marvel comics when I was a kid, and because she was hot. Okay, sorry, but I was 10-year-old, whatever. But I got to know the character. Her only good storyline is she died. Well, almost died. Sorry, spoilers. This was 30 years ago from Rogue when Rogue took her powers in Avengers Annual number 10. That's her only interesting story. So they have a blank slate. I think they can make a good movie because it's the MCU. Problem is this brand within the comics community is completely damaged. There's the meme. She's a meme. It's Carl Mann. So they got to fight that.
But I said, and a couple of the quote unquote feminists on Twitter got really pissed off when I put that splash page where she's looking in the mirror and she says, "Damn, I look good." I'm like, "Well, how dare you? How dare you say she should exploit her body?" I'm like, "It's her body. She can do whatever she wishes." I thought you were I thought you were the people that were for choice as for what women could do and what they can't do. Exactly. If that's It's apparently
that's such a complaint I have with modern feminism too. Like, I'm just waiting for some asshole feminist to jump on me for, putting some cleavage on a thumbnail. It's like, I understand, there's a reason why I go on camera, because I don't think I'm super ugly, and I think it helps my views and my videos. And especially if I'm gonna wear something low cut, I don't have a problem with that. I'm comfortable in my own body that I can do that. And I don't want somebody else telling me I can't because they're offended. If they're offended, they don't have to look at. They can go find somebody else.
Random.
Yeah.
Just admit it. You're doing it for me, aren't you?
Maybe.
See, I knew it. If you could see how close I was to the mic right now, you'd probably kvetch.
I'm gonna start wearing some low cut tops.
Yeah, more cleavage on stream from everybody.
Oh yeah. Okay.
My hairy man.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh,
I keep thinking that Cheech and Chong played, "Ooh yeah, now I'm gonna take off your dress." Ooh.
now I'm gonna take off your shoes. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put them
The request line is now open.
Yeah, he's in the back of the weed. Okay, all right? Chris, quick favorite Cheech and Chong movie, everybody. You two in the chat too. Your favorite Cheech and Chong movie?
How can it not be Up in Smoke?
Because Nice Dreams is so good
Nice
too.
Dreams.
Nice Dreams is good, but Up in Smoke's a classic.
It kind of is.
I got a soft spot for Cheech and Chong's second movie.
The next movie?
Yeah, Cheech and Chong's next movie.
They're all pretty good, but it's just
they're all good. There's not really a bad Cheech and Chong movie.
Until you get to like Corsican Brothers.
Yeah, that's the line. Gary, what's your favorite? For God,
It's
for
ni-
Christ's
it's
sake, my
nice.
brother Dave's calling me.
Nice dreams.
It's like
help
he
me
knows
out.
you're on the air.
Right.
Sorry, what was that,
Random.
Gary?
What is Nice Dreams? The one where they show the sex scene, but it's all the animals having sex. You know, like the rhino screwing and.
Oh God, it's been so long since I've
I
seen
think
them.
that's Nice Dreams. So I used to ditch high school and get really stoned and drink wine and watch.
Nice Dreams is
Huh.
the one with the ice cream truck. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if that
I
scene's
think
in it.
I think that scene. The one with that scene is my favorite.
I think that's the one that Cinemax showed the most anyway.
God damn, that scene was funny, man.
Well, I always love
Save
the
the
ice cream truck.
whales, but shoot the seals.
I still say that. Save the whales, but shoot the seals.
Yeah, when he's sitting there, he plugs in his guitar to the PA system of the ice cream bin. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy pineapple. Anybody else waiting for the new Trek log? Will Admiral Andre order Captain Rob to watch STD season 2? Well, stay tuned and find out.
I was editing the audio yesterday, so hopefully this week we'll have it up. I know I say that all the time, but stuff always keeps coming up.
But can I come back? Can I come back to we were talking about Ms. Marvel though? About Ms. Marvel, about the whole thing of femininity. But when I was growing up, I mean, it was a completely different thing. I mean, you had obviously it was the '60s, but Yvonne Craig, you know, very womanly, very
Oh, I love her.
shapely.
Yeah.
She's such a role model too. Like I don't understand why people would have such a problem with her now because she's a very shapely, attractive woman. I always found her to be a role model when I was a kid because she was Batgirl.
Yes, let's say Yvonne Craig, Honor Blackman from Goldfinger, Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. I mean, you had these that was 1964. Honor Blackman. That's a strong female character. That is a strong female. Oh, but she gives into Bond's seductive way. Yeah, okay, fine. But hey, who's to say she didn't want to have sex with Bond? Okay. Again, I thought this was about choice. But again, it just seems like if we go back, we can see better examples of strong female characters than what we have now. And these were characters that, and I'm going to play my man card, they looked like women. I don't understand. I mean, now you have all these and Nighty Lancaster, Miss Peel, Diana Rigg from the Avengers.
Oh yeah.
And now you have all these rail thin, androgynous, bony need, and they look like boys. I hate saying this, and someone once said it's because casting directors are largely gay, and that's what they look for. Yeah, Jane Hernandez, Jane Seymour. Yeah, she was Solitaire in Live and Let Die. Yeah, but we've gone so. I mean, it's almost we've gotten to they'll never admit it. You know, the whole thing with third wave feminism, they'll never admit it. But it's almost we've gotten to the point of Victorianism, like, oh, how dare you show your ankle? You know, it's so scandalous. And
well, even Dakota Johnson had to, like, her nudity was CG'd, wasn't it? She wasn't nude, or somebody. Oh, it was the Dark Angel. What was her name? Jessica Alba. She was naked
Jessica
in
Alba,
something. Yeah, and she it was CG. She wasn't even naked. Like they don't even get naked in movies anymore. And I remember
they
in the
body double it, or you're right.
And in the 90s, like that was like a selling point for a lot of these movies where, oh, well, hey, we get to see Molly Ringwald naked now, or Sigourney Weaver.
We found out a lot more times than not that it was body doubles when we didn't realize it. But then it was because most of the time the actors didn't feel that their ass or their whatever were
shapely enough.
Yeah. But
everybody I know freaked out when they found out that Val Kilmer had a body double in The Doors.
Oh, yeah. Well, someone asked me not that long ago, who would your ideal Batgirl be? And I said, if she was 15 years younger, Christina Hendricks.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is what, to me, random, settle down.
Well, no, I'm not just I'm absolutely.
No, I was saying she could be Batgirl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Johnny Pappas, that's a look now, androgynous with no shape. Yeah, it's because all these kids are on vegan diets. no red meat, no iron.
Well, and you're not allowed to compliment anybody on their appearance anymore. You can't say, hey, you have a very nice, shape or a figure, because for fear of, I mean, I don't know how you guys have it, but this is what I'm hearing is that, you can't compliment anybody without, fearing a lawsuit, basically.
I just don't say anything
Yeah,
anymore.
me too.
Harvey. Harvey. Yeah, it says the only, and then somebody brought up in the chat, the only.
What's that?
I
Time's up.
Hernandez,
Oh, time's up.
no, yeah. I Hernandez says these people have no problem with Lena Dunham being naked. Lena Dunham is the only actress I say, damn woman, put your damn clothes back on.
Yeah.
So okay, what else we got? 90 Link has power. Okay, and Carrie Fisher, Christina Hendricks should have been Poison Ivy. Yeah, I can see that. DJ
even
Show.
Mad Men. Like, okay, so even Mad Men, like, for example of good, strong female characters, even though it was created recently, you still had Don Draper have some respect for Joan and for Peggy. Like, those were two women. He was in and out of bed with everybody, but he had respect for those two, and they were such strong female characters. Joan's more so than Peggy for me.
What? Yeah. Why do I keep thinking of that scene in Stripes? No, I'll still respect you. I'll respect you even more. Just use more whipped cream. John, I had the wildest dream. Okay, we got any more questions, guys? Let's go. So let's see. We're gonna play the last question drinking game pretty soon. Gary, do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Is everybody keeps? Is every time I say last question, and people take a drink. Because I keep going. So finally, I just have the guest pick a number from 1 to 10. So, but anyway, so Harvey, you still want me to push the button?
Push the button.
Ray Rain. Okay, who knows about Farscape? I know about Farscape. I haven't watched it. But I know about it.
Just started watching it recently due to one of our friends in the chat and loving it so far, and realizing we talked about it last night with Tom and Random that Guardians of the Galaxy borrows a lot from Farscape. A lot. Still good, but
yeah.
I vaguely remember a few episodes. I remember the movie more so. Serenity. Is that what it's called?
No, that's Firefly.
Oh, that's Firefly. You're right. Never mind.
Farscape's
Farscape's
ship.
Farscape's the one with like the villains look like the things from
puppets. It's got puppets.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other movie, but anyway, now I know what you're talking about. Yep. Sorry. Oops. Yeah, I was getting it mixed up with Firefly.
Yeah, they all kind of blend together, and that's I get. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of writers in Hollywood and a lot of these studio execs want. They want everything to kind of blend together. There's no difference between Star Wars and Star Trek and Farscape and Babylon. They want no difference between anything, really. So that everybody can kind of just, we'll appeal to this crowd by making it more like this.
Well, and that's just it. Like I said, they want everything to be like fast food and disposable, but then you just get a disposable audience.
Yeah.
Yep. And they do not last long at all. Star Wars is becoming the Transformers. Sad.
Oh yeah, they're always on to the next thing, whatever it is, the next trend.
Yeah. Jess Reed, how bad will T6 bomb? Very bad.
Very bad. Yeah, no one's gonna watch that.
Mega bomb.
It depends.
Freaking Terminator's really not a franchise.
You've got Linda Hamilton coming back. You've got James Cameron producing. Was it Denis Villeneuve? Or who's directing it? I forgot now.
Tim Miller.
Tim Miller, that's right. Thank you. Tim Miller's directing it. It has some potential, but that first picture I saw of the three ladies, the two girls with Linda Hamilton, I was kind of confused. So I guess we'll see. I don't know what their plan is yet. I'll hold out for a first trailer.
Yeah, I saw that. It said, "That's a man, baby."
Well, I think they released that picture just to kind of get a whole bunch of negative comments. I think, the media especially, just so they could have little stupid talking points if the movie fails, just so they could get people going. SJW or LGBT 1000 is what the one in the middle is being referred to.
God
quite
forbid
a bit,
we
actually.
just celebrate Sarah Connor, who was one of the OG feminine heroes of the 80s. I mean, for fuck's sake, God forbid.
Mama Bear, yes. Oh, and like I said, but in this 1991, that's the like I said, the OG, one of the strong female characters. We've had them before. We can have them. These aren't strong. Mikey Spock is not a strong female character. She's a cipher. She's whatever the plot needs her to be.
She's just a prop anymore. Like,
Yep.
you just stick her anywhere, and all the other characters around her are just props as well. Like they aren't really characters. They're just plot dialogue devices, just to further her whatever story arc she has, which isn't really a story arc, but
Yeah, they're positioned so that she can come along and solve whatever problem that needs solving. Because she's the bestest ever.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, Harvey?
I'm not really Harvey, but I can pretend to be Harvey again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way to step on the bit, Tom.
Sorry, but I don't want Doomcock mad at me for stealing Harvey because I'm even
Harvey's
trying not to
copyright.
do it so well because I can actually do it okay, but I'm trying to do a bad version of it on purpose, so I don't get. It's got to be 25% different. I only have 6 tentacles.
And I'm darker whatever color Harvey is.
I'm more blue
color
than
is
green.
Harvey? Yeah.
And my name's not Harvey, it's Harry.
Harry. Yes.
Harry
Harvey's illegitimate brother
Harry Couture.
that he never spoke about ever. In the 70 years we knew it.
that Doomcock loves more because that's his baby.
We should copyright 25% different.
Yeah.
90 Lancaster actually said 25% different TM. Yeah, we should copyright that.
I wonder how many people caught that little sales pitch thing I did in that one Trek video. 25% so 25% less Trek, 100% stars, and now with 10% more Tarantino. And look, kids, Thor's back.
One of my Batman v Superman review on my channel, it said, now with 75% more Batman. I said so. Superman now with 75. How bad is it that Superman is a guest star in his own sequel?
Yeah.
Someone on the Midnight's Edge group was complaining about, posted one of those memes about how, the action scenes in Batman v Superman were so much better than in the Marvel universe. I'm like, and there's somebody was talking about how Batman v Superman was akin to watching paint dry. I'm like, at least paint drying has a purpose. It protects wood and and keeps you from having
Paint has
long
color.
Paint has color. Yes, it's can be aesthetically pleasing, and it prevents long-term damage from things like sun and rain damage. Batman v Superman only shows you how you can spend $250 million and have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least you can huff paint and get a little high off it too. If you really need to. Just forget about Batman and Superman.
Yeah. Okay. What comics you guys are reading? I'm not currently reading any comic actually. Gary?
Oh my goodness. Right now, the one right in front of me is Bubba Hotep and the Cosmic Bloodsuckers. That's what I'm reading from IDW. I'm also reading a bunch of new Mark Millar stuff. Cosmic Ghost Rider. I am a big fan of the Cosmic Ghost. Anything by Donny Cates is good. But Bendis' Superman is terrible. Don't read it. Tom King's Batman is horrible. It was intrigued me for a while. Then they did the I don't know if you guys heard. They built up to this big wedding. Batman was supposed to marry Catwoman in issue 50. You go in Batman issue 50. It's volume 64. Okay, so it's Batman issue 50. They were supposed to marry Catwoman and Batman. All these stores got into the event. It was a midnight on sale. People were doing mock weddings. I even heard stories of there being an actual wedding at one of these events. And at the end of the comic, the wedding is off. And they marketed it as a wedding. It was it was total bullshit. So, not reading Batman anymore. Thanks, Tom King. But no, there's a couple of good Marvel titles out right there. And there's God, I'm forgetting them. Mark Millar just did one through Netflix. Netflix is making comics, guys, with Mark Millar.
Really?
And they're really the Magic Order. That one was good. I might be getting the title wrong, but I remember the comic. It was good. And he's good. Yeah, they're going to be doing direct sales and selling in comic shops, and they're going to be turning these properties into television shows. Yeah, Netflix has their own MCU. It's Mark Millar, which, you know, is Kingsman, Wanted. They can redo Wanted right. I don't know if Wanted was a bad movie that was based on a great comic book that was just done. It was a bad adaptation. So look forward to the Mark Millar stuff, especially if Matthew Vaughn's involved too. I think it'll be pretty good.
All right, we're coming up on 7 o'clock right now at my time. Tom, you want to go to the top of the hour?
Sure, I don't care.
hit the like button. We have 130 people watching. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for hanging in there.
Yes, hanging. Yes. So like, more questions, guys. More questions from you people out there. Let's go. Hit the like button. Yes, hit that like button.
Yeah.
Please hit the like button. We don't want to beg. We don't want to.
I'll beg. Please hit that like button.
Lick that button.
Lick that
For
button.
only validation.
Never seen Salt or Want? And then Link has never seen Salt Wanted. Hit the like button.
Hit that like button.
Tyler, Bioshock.
Damn.
Question for the entire group. What are your thoughts on Predator franchise after the first one, you know, 2, the remake, and I suppose the new movie, not including AVP? I lost interest after the first movie. That's it.
Second one's good. AVP's okay. Requiem is fucking dumb. Predators was palatable. Random?
I think I've only seen the first 2, and then I think I saw Alien versus Predator. I really don't remember any of it. That probably is enough explanation. Yeah, I don't know. They're kind of like I don't know. They're kind of meh, I think, for me. They're all right, but I don't see this new one being very interesting coming up.
I'm right there with Tom. I'm a huge Predator fan, so I kind of like all of them except for Requiem was terrible. I really enjoyed The Predator for some reason. I don't know. I like that movie a lot. The first one's one of my favorite all-time movies.
Well, the first one's like a classic.
Yeah, that is so good. But the new movie looks bloody awful. We talked about it last night. Just find a picture of the current cast against the cast from the first movie. Just put them right up next to each other, and that tells you where film is now. That really explains it right there. How far down we've gone. That's a bummer way to end things. But you could always just go back and watch the first Predator. Don't give this new one money.
Question for Nerdrotic. Favorite Spider-Man comic?
Favorite Spider-Man, like single issue, is a graphic novel called Spider-Man Hooky by Roger Stern. It's fucking it's Bernie Wrightson art. It is fucking wonderful. Check it out. You could probably get it on eBay for like $5. That is my single favorite Spider-Man story, and I've read almost all of them. So, yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay. 90 last Lancaster Predator is so masculine. Yeah. Oh, can't have that anymore. Ooh, it's got to be gender. It's got to be gender neutral.
On the screen right now, I have how I felt about Shane Black's Predator before and after the trailer. My little Stitch drawing there.
Okay. Santo Dominus, who is looking forward to Castlevania Season 2? I'll watch Season 1 if that means anything.
Yeah, I still have to catch up on Season 1. But I've heard good things. Yeah, sorry, Random.
Oh, no, it's all right. I actually did watch Castlevania Season 1, and if you do like anime sort of mixed with kind of gothic horror, it was actually pretty decent. I'm not a huge anime person, but I do like Castlevania, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, Season 2 looks pretty, it looks pretty interesting. It'll definitely kind of continue the whole Belmont storyline.
Gary?
I'm going to check it out. It's something I wouldn't even consider, but now that I have a channel and a bunch of people were like, hey, check it out, you'll like it, I'm going to check it out. So I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Wolf and Joe's got a good question there. What's your favorite 90s Marvel cartoon shows? X-Men probably be mine. Rob?
I like the I like Spider-Man from the 90s. The 90s version of Spider-Man.
That's a good one too, though. But yeah, X-Men's just probably got the edge, just because it's got more characters, I suppose. I don't know.
So Silver Surfer was also really good.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I like the Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer. X-Men, the cartoon X-Men made more X-Men fans than the comics did, than the movies ever did. That cartoon made all these
bigger audience,
X-Men
and it's
fans.
pretty much free.
It was free, and they followed the storylines pretty much. I mean, they edited them way down, but that was pretty much the timeline of the X-Men. So you could actually jump into a comic after watching the cartoon and somewhat know what's going on. Yeah, 90s X-Men for sure.
Random?
I don't think I saw any 90s Marvel any cartoons or anything. Sorry.
Okay.
That's okay. There was supposed to be a Captain America series actually in the 90s. You can still see the test reel footage on YouTube.
Captain America throws his mighty shield.
His shield.
Yeah. The only change was it was supposed to take place in World War II. The only change was Bucky was going to be around 18 because they didn't like the idea of a kid getting shot at.
Yeah. Okay, we mentioned the Tick too. I forgot.
The Tick
I
was
always
good.
forget the Tick. The Tick.
Oh, was he technically Marvel? No.
No,
Yeah.
well, see, they say Marvel. Sorry, I thought it was just cartoons from the 90s.
Well,
That was technically Marvel. But
Marvel. Okay, yes, X-Men.
J 2.0 had a question. Now that Danny Boyle's out, who do I want to direct the next Bond movie? If it's going to be Daniel Craig's last one, I say get Martin Campbell.
Well, I said Edgar Wright the other day, and I guess he's in talks, or that was the rumor. There was somebody else that was rumored too, I think. I can't remember who, but...
I like Martin Campbell.
Yeah.
I think good. That's solid.
Yeah. Based on his work on Taken, I would even dare say Luc Besson.
Ooh. Yeah, if he could. I
like The Professional better, but yeah.
Yeah. If his head is into it, I love Luc Besson. Love Fifth Element. Love Professional. So that would be cool. Guy Ritchie.
Maybe that was the one that was bantied around.
Yeah.
Get Matthew Vaughn.
Random?
Well, I would, I would be curious to see what Edgar Wright does with Bond. I mean, he's kind of one of my favorite more famous directors for sure, of the modern directors. I think that'd be kind of an interesting choice. And then we get a pretty awesome soundtrack out of it. So
yeah.
Okay, it's 7:01. Gary, give us a number from 1 to 10.
7.
Okay, 7 more. 7 more. 7 more questions, guys.
Wow.
Was I supposed to answer 2?
lucky number 7. Okay. That's not a question.
A lot of times they send some easier ones though, like what's your favorite color? So.
Yeah. No, Guy Ritchie. That's not a question. Is he going to leave the project at some point? Okay. If Wright says yes, is he going to leave the project? Okay, that's not really a question. My son Logan James, Wolverine.
Take care, Jess Reed. Okay, while we're waiting for a question, I can ask my normal questions. I don't know if Random's answered these yet either. Elvis or the Beatles? I think I know the answer to some of these, but go ahead, Random. Please.
Elvis or the Beatles? Beatles.
Gary?
Beatles.
Addams Family or the Munsters?
Addams Family.
Oh, both. Both.
Oh, it's a tie.
You can't choose because the Addams Family was so well. They were both so good and so different in the same and different at the same time.
Because I'll tell you where I got this game from, and I got a whole list of these somewhere. I haven't dug them up, but I just remember like the first 5 or so, like by memory. But there's a deleted scene from Pulp Fiction where Mia asks John Travolta's character if he's a Beatle. She goes, "You must be an Elvis man." He's like, "Well, what do you mean?" She goes, "Well, there's 2 types of people in the world. There's Elvis people and there's Beatles people. You can like them both, but sooner or later you have to pick one over the other." So I came up with this whole list of shit that's like that. You know, it's like all the way down the line, just like back and forth between, like Michael Jackson or Prince and so on. Yeah. But I was going to use that in one of our shows. But never used it, never dug it out. But I always ask those questions while we're waiting for questions.
Yeah. Tom, did you see the demon's reflection question?
No, what was it?
Who would win in a fight, Rob or Alex Kurtzman?
Rob, because he'd kick him in the nuts.
Yep. Fight dirty.
I kick you in the nuts.
Got your back, Rob, on that one.
All
the way, buddy.
Thank you. MK Ultra, best Star Trek episode. City on the Edge of Forever. I love City on the Edge of Forever.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Fuck.
There's a lot of good ones, but that's an exception.
What was the name of that episode I love, Rob, from the Next Generation, where they're in a time loop and they're playing poker?
Oh yeah. It's Yesterday's Enterprise.
Thank you.
No, that's not it.
No.
I think it's maybe Deja Vu.
Is it? I think it's in the fourth season, but I can't remember.
It's with Kelsey Grammer makes a cameo.
Does he? All I remember is they're in like a time loop, and Data I think figures it out.
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect.
Cause and
it.
Effect. Yes.
Thank you, Random.
Yes.
That'd probably be my favorite one.
Okay.
I know I'm horrible with the names. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's me. I can't remember. I had to Google it.
90 Lancaster, are you looking forward to the new Spider-Man video game? Yes, I have to get a PS4 though.
Very much so. Don't like that white spider in the costume, but everybody says that. So,
Random, what season was that in? Because I'm gonna watch it after we're done.
Cause and effect. let me.
Sorry, I thought you still had it up. My bad. No worries. I can look it up after we're done. If not, so.
Okay.
Season 5. In season 5, it looks like.
Damn, I was close. I said 4.
Yeah.
Season 5 was so good. It's got unification. Spock.
Anthony Altieri, what are the social political implications? I don't want to answer that. Okay, come on, guys. More questions here. Balance of Terra, Crazy Pineapple says Balance of Terra. Yeah, that's a great one. Best TNG for Darth is X-Raven is the Inner Light. Darmok, yes. That's two great ones. The Drumhead is also great.
TOS has a lot of great ones, though. Don't get me wrong. I know I picked a TNG episode, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Fusion, Tower of Terror, or Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout? Are those rides at Disney World?
Yeah, Tower of Terror. Sorry, I just blew you out in my mic. Apologies.
Never been to Disney World.
I haven't been to
Twilight Zone is superior to anything in every way
Actually,
possible.
I'd rather go to Universal than Disney, but anyway.
Yeah. Universal has more stuff I know than Disney.
You guys are all Twilight Zone fans, though. They took down a brilliant ride with Rod Serling all over it. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's a decent ride. It really is, but that was the last Twilight Zone thing anywhere, and it was the last real cool thing at Disneyland.
Bet you they're gonna wish. Well, I was gonna say, I bet you they're gonna wish that they hadn't when that new show comes out, because aren't they rebooting that?
They are, yeah, and that's probably part of the reason they got rid of it.
I was just gonna say, then again, that might be why they lost the license or something too.
Yeah,
but you
can
add some James Gunn stuff to that ride, like To Catch a Predator at the bottom level or something. Bad joke, sorry.
Ben 1, what MCU trilogy would you like to see Taika Waititi do? Nova.
Oh, that's a good, well played there. That hasn't been done. He'd be wrong for Taika Waititi. Do I have to pick him? I think Nova would be good for him. He needs Nova, but not the Richard Rider stoic Nova, the new one. Yeah, the younger one.
Magpie, Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers. So depends on my mood.
And I want to see Waititi do a Spider-Man movie.
That would be good.
Good choice there. I like that.
Taika Waititi might do well with the She-Hulk movie if they do the fourth wall breaking She-Hulk.
I don't like She-Hulk. I can't stand that character. I'm sorry.
If they did it like John Byrne, which they can't, but John Byrne's run on that was brilliant. Was so good. She was Deadpool before Deadpool. She was breaking the fourth wall. It was a lot of fun. It was a really sexy comic, but they can't do that. They would have to roll out a frumpy
That's
She-Hulk.
fine, but I just hate when they do just a female version of a character. Like Supergirl to me is like stretching it.
You should see have you seen She-Hulk lately? What she looks like now?
That has really nothing. It's just the idea that there's another Hulk.
What does she look like now?
She's just big. She's the Hulk. She looks like the Hulk now. She doesn't look like a woman. She's just all muscles.
Okay,
and stuff.
then what the fuck's the point?
Yeah, why bother?
Exactly. Making Tom's point, which is you just made it another Hulk. Yeah.
That's dumb.
Okay, this
yeah,
is
that's
coming
what
up.
I don't like. Is because these female versions are just basically just it. That's it. They're Batgirl, Supergirl. They're all kind of the same kind of thing almost. Those two are probably the only two that I can think of are half-ass justified. But Wonder Woman is already kind of like a Superwoman in a way. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't a question, but Tyler Bioshock says Ryan Coogler's name came up for new Bond director. Probably because of that 15 minutes of spying from Black Panther. He's a fan, though. I'd be leery about how his name came up. Is it somebody lobbying on his behalf, or is there a legitimate interest? Okay, guys, looking for final question of the night. Let's make it a good one.
Flash?
She-Flash.
I'm sure there's a speedster that's female. Out
There is. They haven't called her She-Flash yet, but that's coming up, Morks.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Have we gone through 7 questions already?
Well, one more. We got one more to go here. Let's make it a good one. And usually I like to end on a goofy note. So the final question. Dun, dun. We need like a dun, 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 like
I
like
can answer
fanfare.
Magpie's question there.
Sure.
They're just talking about Lobo. They had been talking to Michael Bay for a Lobo movie.
Okay. Okay. Dynamo 75. Are you interested in seeing any Hanna-Barbera superheroes for a motion picture movie? Johnny Quest. That's been in development for years. I would like to see that.
Is Captain Caveman a superhero?
Captain Caveman!
Yeah.
They'd probably make him CG, though. They wouldn't even put him in a costume. If they made a CG, I wouldn't. But if it was a guy in a costume, I'd probably want to see that.
I say they just got to use Mel Blanc's tracks
Well,
Yeah.
back in the day.
okay. Well, actually, this is a good one to end on. She Thor or She Iron Man. Advantage push. There are no winners here. So, for fuck's sake.
Wouldn't it be Iron Woman, though?
No, we're not supposed to address them by gender, right? Iron person?
It's Iron Heart with Riri Williams now, and she's got
Are
little
you fucking-
hearts all over her armor.
Oh my
You
God.
should see the cover. It's lifestyle brand. Lifestyle brand. To answer Grand Moff Tarkin. Good to see you again, Grand Moff Tarkin. Current Doctor Who. Watch paint dry.
So, anyways,
Watch paint dry.
yeah. So, okay. That's it. Unless we got another
Random?
more business to go. Random? Yes. Tom,
I gotta
take it.
say something to you or ask you something. You liked sci-fi and stuff just because of what it is, not because it pandered to you because you're a woman, right? Or
Oh, exactly. I just liked what I liked, and I didn't care who it was for.
right, okay. Now a girl's gonna like Iron Man because she thinks Iron Man's fucking cool, right?
Yeah, or sexy or whatever.
She doesn't need it to be like My Little Ponies meets Iron Man, right?
Oh no, I think for me personally, I would be more turned off by that because it comes across as pandering to a demographic that has no business watching it.
Exactly.
And like I said earlier, I was a tomboy. I liked some of the masculine stuff because I like today, I kind of prefer hanging around with the guys because they're a little easier to talk to and hang out with, especially if you have some common interests. I don't have a lot in common with women my age who, are on Facebook talking to their kids or grandkids or whatever. It's kind of crazy. I don't know what they're trying to prove with this stuff.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
All right, Rob.
All righty. Thanks. We'd like to thank everybody. We got 118 people still with us. Thanks for hanging out with us. Gary, why don't you tell us where they can find you?
Oh, thanks. You can find me at the Nerdrotic channel, where we do live streams almost daily. We're covering a lot of TV shows right now. We're currently covering The Venture Brothers, Preacher finale is tonight. I'm blanking on Ancient Aliens and Better Call Saul. And I'm missing a show there, but yeah, check us out. Thanks.
Castle Rock, did you say that? I know you covered that.
Oh, Castle Rock. Thank you. Right on. Thank you.
Which I really want to watch. I just have not had the fucking time.
It got good.
I've heard good things, and I love Stephen King, so.
Yes. No, I actually haven't seen it yet, so I haven't seen a lot of shit yet.
Yeah. Of course, check out Random.
Yes, Random. Tell us where they can find you.
You can click my name in the chat bar over here. It is Mecha Random 42. It has been officially changed, and there's a trailer and everything to kind of announce the name change. It used to be Random Game User 42, so you can find me on YouTube. I have a Patreon. Sometimes I play video games on Twitch.
Yes, cool. Tom, where can they find us? Oh, Tom. Did we lose Tom?
No, I was typing there. Well, you can find you at Robot Shlomo on YouTube.com, and of course you can find us here at Midnight's Edge After Dark and Midnight's Edge. And don't forget to check out Overlord DVD, of course. Subscribe and submit to the Overlord. All right.
And I'll hail the tribunal.
Oh, and check out my Twitter. I mean, I've had it forever, but I have like nobody on there. But I've been starting to tweet more. So, yeah, it's at Thomas Connors Jr. Check it out.
Yes, and as I always say, if you like what we do, hit subscribe, click the bell icon. That way you're notified of all the updates. So subscribe and click the bell click the bell icon on Random's channel. Go over to Nerdrotic, subscribe, click the bell icon on his channel. Check out all our channels, and if you really like what we do, and if you're subscribed to both this channel and the main channel, head over to Patreon, and you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month, and you can get updates. You can get lost episodes, outtakes, bloopers, gag reels. Do we have any gag reels? I don't think we have any gag reels, but it's something to aim for.
Actually, we do.
Oh, we do. Cool. You can check out the animation for the Trek log in advance, right up there, right? Isn't that right, Tom?
Yes, and hopefully that'll be up this week. That is one of my goals. So,
yes. And as I always say, if you don't have the means to support the channel, please click like, subscribe, click the bell icon, share with your friends, let the commercials play out, and because as always, we cannot do this without you. So thank you everyone for joining us on this Sunday night, evening, morning, wherever you're listening to.
Thank you, Gary, for joining us for the first time.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for all the super chats.
Yes. Thank you for having me on. That was great.
Yes, thank you. Dude, great meeting you. Great meeting you. So come back anytime. You have an open door policy over here until we change the locks at least. So
awesome. And same goes back to you guys. We'll work it out if we can schedule you guys. You have the keys to Nerdrotic. I told that to Doomcock at Random, and I'm sometimes I'm kind of shitty about asking because I don't want to bug you guys.
Yeah, that's how I am. I'm like afraid that I'm gonna bother somebody.
Oh, don't be afraid. If it's something you think that I'll know something about, yeah. I don't get to watch a lot of television though, so that's the only downside. But
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. So anyway, like I said, Random, thank you as always.
Thank you for having me,
Tom, and myself. We like to thank everybody out there. As I always say,
thank you.
Thank you. Don't drink and drive. Take care of each other, and we will catch you next time.
Tip your waitress and Random.
Okay. Is that
she
a wrap?
does such a great job, and that's a wrap.